Across countless centuries, I have seen civilizations manifest and crumble. Truly, none lie. I welcome all to a place in my carefully curated collection.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Trayzn the Infinite, or Trayzn the Troll, as I think is more aptly to be named on him. He is a collector of sorts, and he may have collected my voice to stop me doing this video, as it's been missing for the last 6 days, and this is the best I have sounded. So we're going to push forward and get this video done, and I do apologise, and I'm going to blame it entirely on Trayzn, which is why I sound like this. Now, throughout this video, there is a number of Easter eggs that I've hidden into, well, I say hidden, they're pretty much in plain sight, but there's a couple of well-meaning masked ones that you might have to uncover and think about a little bit. So, if you can name more than one down in the comments below, let's have a competition and see who can guess how many I have put in there. So who is Trayzn and what is he up to? What is his end goal? Now, this is kind of what we're going to cover in this video. He is a Necron. He woke up long before any of the other Necrons really awoke, so he's been around for quite some time. He's probably one of the oldest Necrons that there is in the setting currently, and he is quite possibly one of the most meta characters in the whole universe setting. He is a collector. He literally has armies stowed away in his vast galleries and vaults, where he likes to stand and peruse and sort of collect all these different battalions, monsters, creatures, items, people. He will steal you and all your stuff. He has visited planets where massive battles were taking place just to steal a chunk of it and then lock it in stasis in one of his galleries, where he can go back and look. And then if that battle becomes historical in the sense of the universe, and he realizes, oh, there was supposed to be 1,000 guardsmen, I've only collected 500 from this battle, well, he'll find 500 more, stick them in the uniforms, and then put them into these battle scenes, and he will move them around and take plenty of time making sure that his collection is so complete that, and also historically accurate to the battle that was being fought, where he literally just appeared, went yoink, I'm having that, and then went, oh, that's actually quite important, so I'll tell you what, I'll make it look like it should do. And I have to say, this is where I feel like me, Trayzn, have a lot in common, where I quite like my dioramas and he quite likes stealing the real thing and shrinking it down and having the real thing as a live diorama. So, you know, there's some common ground here, and this is why I say I feel like he's quite meta. He's got his armies that he can go play with, and he's got his dioramas that he likes to look at. So that's why I think me, Trayzn, and Inquisitor Helena Vlanaria have lots in common, but unlike Inquisitor Vlanaria, a fucking word, I definitely don't intend to visit Trayzn's vaults or galleries. And here's a little letter that Trayzn wrote to the Inquisitor, and it sort of explains why. My dear lady, let me express my full sum of appreciation for your most generous gift. It is so very rare to uncover another of my own kind that appreciates my work. Therefore, to find understanding amongst another race is nothing short of a revelation. I realised that you briefly trod my galleries, but the fact that you spotted in so short a time that my Acabrius war collection was lacking 3 regiments of Catachan warriors reveals that you truly have a collector's eye for detail, and to send 5 regiments, such generosity will allow me to weed out and replace of the few substandard pieces in my collection. If I might lend a minor criticism, the instructions issued to your gifts were manifestly not clear enough, as most of them had to be forcibly restrained. Sadly, it seems that the lower grades will always behave like an army of invasion, whether it be their purpose or not. This is, however, a minor complaint, and almost seems churlish under the circumstances, so please allow me to repay you with a gift of my own. Accompanying this message is a hyperstone maze of a series of tesseract labyrinths constructed at the height of the Chalnavok dynasty. It is a trinket, really, of the interests of scholars such as you and I, but I trust that you will find it amusing, assuming you have the wit to escape its clutches, of course. Now, I don't know about you, but being stuck inside a maze that is the size of a universe, yeah, I definitely wouldn't call that the best gift. Oh, Trayzn, you sneaky little devil. So now that we have an understanding of what Trayzn is like and who he is, just while in the background I kit bash him using a Necron Overlord and a Plasmancer, I think. The one with all the tentacles. I wanted the cube and I wanted his staff, and I wanted it to go on to an Overlord. This is me not realising that there's actually a Trayzn model out there. I thought it'd be nicer just to kit bash myself one because, you know, it's good for the channel, I suppose. Anyway, so now that we know what he is like, let's go a bit more into who Trayzn really is and what is in his vaults. So as previously stated, Trayzn has been awake for a lot longer than most of the Necrons. He is 60 million years old, and in his mind, he's doing the universe a favour by going around and collecting all these things that to him are just a minor infraction on the universe as we know it. He's been around for millions of years, 60 million years. He has seen empires build and crumble, as he has stated himself. So with his collections, what he's doing is preserving history within his vaults. Or he's just being an absolute fucker. So Trayzn is actually quite instrumental in the fall of Cadia, in a sense that Cadia would have fallen a lot quicker and a lot harder if Trayzn actually hadn't have been around. So the reason why he was there is that within his vaults he had a bell, and this bell was a sister's artifact, and it would ring every time that Abaddon would go on one of his crusades. So within his vaults, this bell tolled 13 times to announce the start of Abaddon's 13th crusade. And what it really did was annoy Trayzn, because it broke a load of his stuff. It was stuck in stasis. It shouldn't have rang. And a load of stuff got knocked over, and he got pretty annoyed of that. So he threw it into the webway so that it could annoy the Dark Eldar just as much as it annoyed him, and inconvenience them, hopefully. So, but with that, he also ventured out and he went to Cadia to see why this bell had tolled. Now, arriving at Cadia, obviously he saw that the crusade was in effect, and he went down with a bit of a saviour's complex to help the Cadians to sort of basically, after the battle, just so he could grab a load of stuff that was left over and add it to his collections. But what he did to begin with was he went there with a bit of a saviour's complex, as I just said, to help the Imperium and to be this mighty Necron lord that's come to save the day. And with that, he actually brought some of the Ultramarines that he had collected during the Horus Heresy. So, as you can imagine, 1 minute these Ultramarines are fighting in the Heresy, and then the next minute they're on Cadia 10,000 years later. What the hell's going on? Why can't I attack Trayzn? Why am I taking orders from this guy? Now, what he's actually done is he's inserted some sort of parasite into their heads whilst they were in his collection so that they wouldn't turn on him and they wouldn't attack him. So, you know, quite demeaning stuff for a Space Marine not being able to attack the Xenos, which of course would be quite funny to have seen. Anyway, so he also had Inquisitor Greyfax, who did end up surviving the fall of Cadia and rejoining the setting. So that's, I think that's quite, a nice bit of interest. He brought some Space Marines to help with the fall of Cadia. And also, towards the end, when we all know that moment where General Creed, in his last dying moments, said Cadia stands, and then the story goes that he then passed. Well, what he actually did was pass into Trayzn's collection because, just couldn't let him die a hero's death. And, he needed his little keepsake from his time on Cadia. I suppose now that it's no more. Another thing in Trayzn's collection is he has Brother Cassiel, a Blood Angel Marine that he has permanently trapped in a moment of absolute dreaded fear. So, and he just likes enjoying staring at the fact that he has a Blood Angel or a Space Marine perpetually trapped in a state. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I'm so glad I bought a spare filament light for this. So, Jesus, idiot. Anyway, going back to Brother Cassiel. So yeah, he has a Blood Angel stuck in a perpetual moment of fear, and it sort of delights him to know that he has a scared Space Marine in his collection. So that's just funny. He also has a member of the 10,000, so I suppose they're now the 9,999. Yes, he has a custodian in his galleries somewhere, probably in a prize position, because that's a pretty impressive feat to have achieved. He also has lost regiments from the world Tanith, where Gaunt's Ghosts is based upon. He has Vestroyan Firstborn and apparently a complete regiment of Vestroyan Secondborn. Just I suppose for the lols, really. And as previously stated, he's got 5 brand new Catachan regiments as well. So there's that to be added to the list. Oh yes, and he also has a perfect clone of Fulgrim. That's right, he has the cloned version of Fulgrim before he fell to Chaos. So if he was to ever be released from Trayzn's vaults, that could be pretty game-changing for the setting. That would be a really massive sort of reveal or thing to have happened if he was to get out, because that is a traitor Primarch, but before he fell to Chaos. So would he remain on the Imperium? Would he fall to Chaos again? What, oh my god, my voice, come on, sort it out. The implications that could have to the setting would just be immense. I mean, speculations in the comments below if you ever think that clone would be released. I have to say, it would be pretty interesting if that did happen. I don't know if I'd want it to happen though. Don't know. How about you guys? What do you reckon? I suppose for a couple of honourable mentions as to what else is in his vaults, because if I was to go through everything, this video would never end. So he's also got one of every vehicle the Imperium has ever made. Apparently he has an orc that doesn't want to fight, and a Gretchen that is stronger than an orc, the Statue of Liberty. And here's the most incredible thing, which I don't know if this is totally canon or not. Apparently he has an unedited, perfectly reliable photo of Diglett's body. Oh, and reliable information on the Alpha Legion. So I don't know. There's a lot of fun things out there that people claim are in his collection. I like to believe that they're all true, because he's just such a fun and interesting character within the universe, and I've had a lot of fun making this diorama, as you may be able to see from all the random things that I've added in to sort of spice up a little bit. I had a lot of fun making this diorama, and I've had a lot of fun making this video as well. It's been enjoyable. It's definitely been an enjoyable one. Oh, and he's also got, as I can see them on the screen now, he's got a pauldron from every Space Marine chapter that there has ever been. So with all this stuff, oh my god, my voice, it's almost come back. So with all this stuff, what is keeping Trayzn from being killed? How has no one killed him yet? Well, he actually has been killed a few times, but because he's a Necron, all he does is he re-downloads himself into a new body. And if he's not near a copy for him or of him, he'll just take over one of his lynch guard, which are his bodyguards, so, or any of his minor Necron lords that he has running around for him. So, you know, he has died a few times, like the time where he tried to take Vulcan's spear. The salamander that was protecting it killed him, and Trayzn went off, re-downloaded into a new body, came back for a second time to try and steal it again, because, you know, if at first you don't succeed, keep re-downloading into new bodies until you do. So he's definitely a determined person when it comes to trying to get what he wants for his collection. So I think with that, we're pretty much coming to the end of this video now. God, it's been a longer one than usual. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Sorry about my voice. Hopefully by the time I come to doing the next one, my voice will have come back. So what have I entered into Trayzn's vaults? And I think the choices that I've made are some interesting ones, and people that have been watching the channel for a long time, you may recognize some of the models that I've put into his vaults. Now, you won't recognize the Demonette, because that was just a little test model that I did for myself when I first got my 3D printer. So that was my first 3D printed model that I put in. You may recognize this Tau member from when I was doing my Tau series, which I might have to restart at some point. I've also got the member of the Mechanicus from my Spruku video, which everyone seems to really like. I've even put in my very first standard bearer from my Cadian army that I had when I was a child. And these are all things that mean something to me and something to the channel. I've even got my Imperial Fist from painting Imperial Fist models. So with that, I think we're going to end the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.